Hello everyone, welcome to Sana IE. I'm your host EXO. I hope y'all having a great week. It's Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week. And man, I'm looking up and it's already about to be August. What a year it has been. And it's still going. I'm just reflecting back from January to now, everything that happened globally, everything that happened with me, everything that happened within society. It's just like, man, what a journey. If you listen to this right now, I appreciate you tuning in to the show. You are in my prayers. Hope you staying safe during this pandemic and take care of your family, take care of you and yours, taking care of yourself as well as washing your hands and wearing a mask. But it's Wednesday. Y'all know, Sana IE, we back. I have a great show today. My guest today is an inspiration, is motivating, and his story, his journey will bring a lot of knowledge and gems to us. So can't wait to have him on. But first, before I introduce him, y'all know I gotta hit y'all with the quotes of the day. My first quote is, you can always be better even if you mastered something. So you can always grow in any field that you master. There's no cap in the, no pun intended, but there's no cap in any career or anything that you've mastered, because you can always learn more. There's always different ways to learn new strategies, especially with this day and age, how technology is always advancing and there's new ways to learn and mix and master and just do different stuff. So you got to adapt with times and never think you mastered something, because I think it's like life. You can't master life. There's always going to be new things to learn in life. So it's always going to be a learning experience. Once you get that in your head that you can't master everything, or if you think you master something, you just have to keep on going and learning and not being like stubborn or thinking you know it all, especially if somebody else mastered that same task or that same career skill. Always be open to knowledge and receiving knowledge, and never think you mastered something, because nothing is ever mastered. It's always a work in progress. It's always new things to learn. So always be willing to learn and never think you got it all mastered and figured out. Once again, the quote is, you can always be better even if you mastered something. My next quote is, don't be distracted by criticism. Remember, the only taste of success some people get is to take a bite out of you. I love criticism. I embrace criticism, and that hypes me up and gives me fuel, gives me energy to keep doing what I'm doing. Because I know, like they say, if they ain't talking about you, or if they ain't hating, or if they hating, that means you're doing something right. So if they talking about you, criticizing you, judging you, that means you're doing something right. So learn to embrace criticism, especially constructive criticism, instead of taking it as bad review or anything of that nature. Always be open to criticism. Always be open to people judging you, and don't take it too hard. Don't take it to the chin. You know what they say, sticks and stones. So embrace the criticism, and it's about you. So it's like, if it's to work on you, or if not, then just take the words. Don't let it fuel your emotions or get you mad or get you flustered or get under your skin. Just take the words, take the criticism, and just keep moving forward on anything what you're doing. They're just trying to take a piece out of you, taking a bite out of you. Don't waste your time having a debate or a debacle with them over them criticizing you. Just take it and keep on moving, keep pushing forward, and do you. But on today's show, it's Wednesday. Like I said, it's hump day, man. Middle of the week. And on today's show, I have a guest. Born and raised in the IE. I went to high school with him. Graduated, we played basketball together. And this man is an incredible photographer. Like, his knowledge and his wisdom of photography, of lighting, of angles, really blew me away. We had a shoot recently. If you follow me on Instagram at BrotherX, you can see the photos. I tagged him in it. He's been doing photography for about 10 years, a whole decade, man. Can y'all reflect back and think what y'all been doing the past 10 years? Man, a whole decade. He has a master's in marketing and brand management from Kingston Business School in London. Not online classes, physical in school in London, man. And that really fascinated me because I'm like, studying abroad has always been something that I've always wanted to do. So I will ask him about that, experience, how he got that experience, and hopefully his story brings value to you and yours, and you guys like the show, and send it to a friend if it inspires you. Hopefully it inspires you. But he's also a brand builder, has a background in promotional videography, music production, and voiceover work. And his personal mantra is creatives never sleep. And that's facts. So I'm going to have him come on the show, drop some knowledge, interview him. And I'm really appreciative of him taking the time out of his day, coming on the show, and just really being a guest and really letting me interview him. This is his first interview, and I'm very appreciative of it, and appreciative that, like I said, he took the time out of his day to come on the show and spend time with us and let us know about his story and his journey. So we'll be right back. First, I just want to thank you for coming on the show. Everybody, this is Marcus Brown. I gave an intro about him. I don't know if you want to fill the people in about yourself, more about yourself, and give them a brief intro to who you are and what you do.
Yes. My name is Marcus Brown. I call myself a crew. I have different talents, but right now, mainly focusing on photography and videography around the realms of creative, but also in creative and artistry, but also product and brand marketing. So that's just what I'm doing. I've been doing it for about 10 plus years. So I'm enjoying it.
Man, I can tell that you're really passionate about your craft and everything that you do, how you take pictures, especially that the work we've done recently. I can just tell that, like I said, you're passionate and you really care about the quality of the product, and you have the vision, the creative vision that I see. It's inspiring. That's why I'm like, oh, I want to learn from you. Have you as my mentor for this photography journey.
Appreciate it, man. I'm always down for like collaborating with people and sharing the knowledge that I've gained because, when I first got started, I didn't necessarily have a mentor to kind of show me how to do things and how to go about, the techniques of photography. But one person in particular, my homeboy Free, he was the first to pick up a camera. So
Okay.
he kind of started to, put the camera in my hands and kind of like show me how to use it and whatnot. And so we kind of started collaborating from that standpoint. And then senior year in high school, just jumped into a photography class at A.B. Miller and, started to learn the foundations of traditional photography and not from a digital standpoint. So it's been a great experience, and I'm just glad that I'm still doing it today. So
Yeah, that's always great too to start, especially where you started. You said he put the camera in your hands because I know back in the high school days we working on music versus doing the beat, so that whole transition was a different transition. But you was ready for it, and shout out to him for putting it in your hands. Because who know, like 10 years ago till now, who knew like everything that you accomplished within the photography industry? So
yeah, for sure. It's been an interesting one. I'm pretty sure we'll get into more of it as this interview goes along. But yeah, it's been a great experience.
yeah, I'm just looking back like 10 years. That's funny because I was just drove by AB like literally yesterday. I was just back on the whole 10-year journey myself. I'm like, man, it's
Yes.
crazy.
Yep. Yep. It's been. Time flies so fast, man. Like the time at A.B. Miller has been great. And like college, all that stuff. It goes by way too fast.
Yeah, it does. And it's like, man, you just really reflect back and just think, like, damn, what do I want to do within the next 10 years? What I want to accomplish, what I want to create, and what I want to build. So that's what I'm
Exactly.
looking forward, and I'm excited for the next 10.
Yes. Yes.
But That's a long journey. Do you feel like photography is like your passion?
Yes, photography is definitely one of my passions.
Hmm.
I'm the type of person who, I mean, I once I learn how to uh, do something or master something, I tend to get bored unless
Yeah,
I'm continually challenging myself. So, photography is definitely something that, in the beginning, I didn't necessarily think that it would become my passion or one of my passions,
yeah,
but it has. And through photography, I've been able to do a lot of things that probably wouldn't have been able to do if I went a more traditional route of trying to get into different industries and stuff like that. So it's been definitely a tool that has opened doors for me.
got you, got you. It's funny that you said that because one of my quotes of the day is, "You can always be better, even if you master something. Like even if you master the craft, you can always learn different ways to get better at it. Because there's always gonna be
Exactly.
way."
Yep. You have to maintain it because um, you have technology changes, you have industry changes, and also you have the younger generation that's coming with their ways of doing things. And so, um, you know, you can either, be stuck in your ways or you can adapt to how these industries are changing.
Mm.
And at the same time, like, I see it as an opportunity to connect with the younger generation and um, build a mutually beneficial relationship with the young guys and girls that are coming up in the industry.
Got you.
Yeah.
What advice do you feel like you can give like the younger generation growing up and trying to start? Let's say they're trying to start a photography journey, or they're trying to start an entrepreneurial journey. What advice would you give them?
From a photography perspective, like,
Or photography or entrepreneurs perspective?
okay, I can tack on both of those, but from a photography standpoint, like, continue to shoot. Like, today, everybody has a camera, whether you have uh, your iPhone or you have a professional grade camera. It doesn't matter. Just get out and continue to shoot, because over a certain amount of time, you're going to see that your work is going to progress. But continue to challenge yourself in different areas as well. Um, from a business standpoint, um, just get out there. Like, people tend to kind of wait until things are perfect
Mm.
before they start. But you need to actually be out there, build up your portfolio, your body of work, so that when it comes time for, um, you know, communicating with someone who wants to pay you $300 for a photo shoot, or they have $100 for a photo shoot, like, you'll be able to show them your body of work to prove and validate yourself in your craft. But also, you start to have that business, you start to develop that business acumen of communication between client and your business. So definitely just do it, get out there and learn. You're gonna fail here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, may have to make some pivots, but sitting on the sideline or waiting until everything is perfect, you're only hurting yourself.
Yeah, and time is just passing up as you're waiting to get into the game. It's like, nah, get in the game now. Start now.
Yeah,
It's
put me
like
in the game.
it's like
Yeah,
forward. Like you got to fail first to succeed, and everything. It's like you can't be afraid of jumping in, taking that leap of faith of starting your business, starting your craft, starting your photography journey. Everything's going it's going to be all bad in the beginning, but once you continuously progress at it, you'll get better along the way.
exactly. And, like, what you can do is reach out to someone who's done it before.
Mm-hmm.
Ask some questions. See if, hey, can I join you on one of your shoots as an assistant? Because when it comes to photography, and you start bringing out, professional grade equipment and lighting, and these projects get more expansive, these photographers need people to help.
Yeah.
And so, as a young photographer or someone who's interested in getting into photography, reach out to someone who's already doing it so that when you're on set with them, you can see how they operate. And you can ask questions while on set. Why do you do things this way, this, that, and the other? And, people like to talk about themselves. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, I per se the only way that the only reason why I enjoy talking about what I do is because I want to be able to teach and share what I've learned through my experiences with someone. So just, reach out and talk to them. And who knows, you may build a strong friendship or business relationship with that person. And you'll never know unless you actually shoot that shot.
And that's true. You got to reach out for help, reach out for the mentors, and really get that guidance too. Because don't be afraid to ask for help is basically what you're saying, especially with anything that you're trying to like do. There's always help out there for you. You really just ask for the help and really search for the help.
Exactly.
I get what you mean. I appreciate that for real. You said this is one of your passions. What are your other passions?
Another production, music production.
Okay.
That's something that was the first thing that you know I was doing from a creative standpoint throughout high school, middle school. It's just something that it's that one thing that I enjoy doing,
Mm-hmm.
whether or not I'm getting paid for it.
Okay.
I know that a lot of people are like, okay, you're a producer or you're a singer, like do that and figure out how you can make money doing that.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that can happen is like you may do that and start making money off the craft, but then sometimes it becomes a job and it's no longer fun. So production, beat making, stuff like that, that's that one thing that I can do where I can be by myself and I can stay in a room for hours working on this particular craft and enjoying making beats. Now, if there's an opportunity to sell a beat or collaborate with someone, then I'm open to it. But for the most part, like I'm not putting pressure on myself to make money off of beats.
Okay, it's like your hobby. It's like your escape from everything. It's where you can just, like you say, sit in a room and just create all day, and you'll be happy that you're not caring about the financial gains from it. You just want to just sit there and create and let your mind just go in a way.
Exactly. So music production is definitely that thing for me to kind of. It's like therapeutic for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also very much interested in personal finance and things of that sort. That's something that is very important for myself, my family, especially the Black community as well,
Yes.
and um, other communities that have been disadvantaged.
Got you. I got you. I'm like, man, when did you feel like you fell in love with music production? Like, when's the first time you like really sat down and just made a beat? And then when did you feel like you fell in love with it?
I'd say it was the first, like it was in middle school,
Okay.
Montana Middle School, and it was back when people were just now getting into computers and burning CDs and all this other stuff.
LimeWire.
All that stuff that took place. But when I got my hands on a version of FL Studio, Fruity
Mm-hmm.
Loops, I spent the entire day trying to figure out how this program worked. And then I didn't have a keyboard at the time, so I just used a regular typing keyboard. And
Okay.
when my first loop, it wasn't even a full beat; it was just a loop. Um, that's when I was like, okay, I enjoy this. I don't need to get a drum, actual physical drum. I don't need microphones or nothing like that. I can use this software and get these patterns out through a typing keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just the moment where I was like, okay, let's do this. And I started researching software and all these other producers and whatnot. And that's what like really got me into it because I didn't think that there were people like me at the time, like that were like extremely into like just making beats and drumming. I didn't understand that whole concept or that identity or that
Got
profession. So I just thought, okay, if you're into music and beats, you need to join a drum line or join band at the school, which is
Damn.
not what I was necessarily interested in doing. And in
Mm-hmm.
elementary, I actually got kicked out of the band because I didn't want to I didn't want to play the beats or drum the way that they wanted me to drum.
Okay.
boring song. So I started tapping and, doing my own thing in a class, and I ended up getting kicked out. So I was just like, well, band isn't for me. Yeah.
And that's real. 'Cause I mean, like you said, back then, like now, like beat making producing is like heavy. Like you can look, just open Instagram, open Facebook, and there's gonna be somebody beat making or producing. But like you said, 10 to 12 years ago, you couldn't find that industry. It was just like, damn, it's just me. And then if my only choice is to go into band and do with the band, go with the bandmates versus trying to see if there's anybody else like me, with trying to make beats or start a beat team or something of that nature.
Yeah. Like it's crazy because, like I said, like I didn't know anyone who was into beat making back in, I don't know, 2000. Yeah, it was like 2000.
Yeah.
Um, when I was looking into it, and I didn't necessarily know anything about production and all that stuff, but I just knew that all the hit songs, instead of focusing on the lyrics, I knew the beats. I could replicate the beats.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's spitting all the verses from all these artists. I wouldn't be able to tell you what the verses are, but when it comes to the beats, Pharrell, that's
Man.
that finding that
Mm,
that was a beat that was just like, wow,
yeah.
this banger, and everybody was in school tapping on the lunch tables and all that good stuff, and I was like, okay, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that got me hyped just thinking about it too, because I remember everybody just beatboxing and just tapping on the desk and tapping on the table trying to make the grinding beat.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man,
That was good.
Pharrell. So it's still to this day, he's still crafty with his beats and his beat making and everything. So I like shout out to Pharrell. He always been an inspiration to me.
Exactly. He's a true creative. Like
Yeah.
he's very crafty, and he has this great intuition when it comes to creative output.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was one of like your role models at the time when you started getting into the beat making?
Yes, because I am when it comes to beat making, I'm an up tempo beat maker.
Got you.
So I like to stay within the range of 100 to maybe 140, 150 BPMs. And
Mm-hmm.
so, when it comes to beat making, I like to make, uh, cadences and anthems and, things like that.
Got
Slower beats and stuff like that. But for the most part, because I'm an up tempo beat maker, that's how it's reflected in the beats.
Okay, got you. I'm like when I'm usually the slow tempo. I like everything like below 100 BPMs.
Mm-hmm.
I like to more tell like stories with it and try to get the educated side out of it, like writing rap. So I know what you mean with the whole up tempo. I feel like I like rap faster instead of like slow down my raps. All right, let's take a step back. So back we're gonna go before middle school. During the childhood, was your dreams? I know you said Free put the camera in your hand and you discovered beat making and producing in middle school. What was your like your childhood dream?
When uh, obviously when I was playing basketball,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, we all have that dream of going to the NBA. That's what you know, we consume when we're younger. Whenever we play a sport, we want to go pro with that sport. That's something that obviously was in my head,
Yeah,
uh, but I always had this desire to be a successful business person,
got you.
whatever that looked like. Um, and as I grew older, um, I try to keep that balance of like, yeah, I enjoy playing basketball. This is something that could you know maybe potentially give me some opportunities in college or like get an education and stuff like that. But I wasn't 100% like, this is it for me. you know
Yeah.
like, this is it, this is where I'm going. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, I have other things that I have interest in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, business was that thing that I was, if I'm not at basketball practice, I'm looking up different businesses or different successful people who have started businesses and things of that sort, because my goal was I want to be able to create financial success for my family, for myself, and create opportunities for people that I know, to make money, doing things that they enjoy doing. So if I am able to start a business and hire people that I know, then to me that's success.
Yeah, that's a
Mm-hmm.
win. That's funny. I was just about to. My next question was like, "What's your definition of a successful business person?" But you just
Oh,
basically creating that family wealth, that generational wealth, and you make sure everybody in your family is financially free, as well as you live in to where you ain't got no, you held down with any bills or anything like that. You're
yeah,
just living free, financially free at the end of the day.
exactly. And like the thing about that, like when people think about wealth, um, well, riches and wealth, like riches, this is like, I feel like, from my opinion, it is about the flashiness and like showing your cash and all that stuff, and that can be short lived.
Yeah,
Wealth,
it can.
like having that full understanding of money and
Hmm.
how uh, um, maximize your opportunities and use the money to actually um, build long term
Yeah,
um, income streams. So wealth is different. I feel like wealth is a mature version of riches.
rich.
You know,
Yeah,
being rich.
yeah, that's true too. Because me, I want wealth. I was discussing with my cousin the other day. I was like, all that flashy stuff is cool, but that's not me. I'm looking more into like investments, into buying property, buying acres, stuff like that,
Yeah,
to where it can go long term versus, like you said, the buying stuff that depreciates with value. You buying jewelry, buying cars, like all that's going to like not
yeah. It's a
few years
lie.
from now, going to not have the same value that you bought it for. So it's like better to buy some property, some acres, some stuff that's going to build within time.
Exactly. And obviously, like when you're younger, um, you're not trying to hear some old head tell you, you know, how what you should do with your money when you first get your check and all that stuff, which I understand. And I think it's a rite of passage for a lot. It's like you're going to get your first check, and you might blow it on some Jordans. And
Yeah,
I'm treat yourself. I'm not against treating yourself, but also understand that, yeah, you go ahead and spend $300 on some Jordans. Why not drop an extra 100 and buy one stock in Nike?
yeah,
And I'm not even, when it comes to investing and stuff like that, there's different strategies. People have their opinions, but like that's for um when my children grow up, I'm gonna let them know, like, okay, you're gonna drop 300 on some Nikes. Now put an extra 100 and buy one stock in Nike. So every time that you buy some J's, you need to support that purchase or support the business and support your pockets further by investing in the company, because by you buying their product, you're making other people
man,
rich or
that's
wealthy.
X.
So why
Wow.
for yourself?
That's crazy. I was literally discussing that yesterday too about like because I'm going to all these stores. I'm always shopping at Walmart, Winco, and everything. It's like start buying stock in these places that you shop at and spend your money into instead of just buying money and letting it go. Like reinvest your like okay, I'm buying from Walmart, but I got like 10 stock in Walmart, so it's like the money's getting it's like a recycled into my pockets, but it's long
Yeah,
term.
it's so doable. People think that, like, back then, yes, like you'd have to go to a brokerage, and you know this is stuff that's very confusing, which um I get it. But now with technology and apps, it's easy to get involved. You have AT&T stock is about, I think they're at 40 or 60 per share. uh,
Man.
Disneyland is like just over 100.
Mm-hmm.
um Nike is, I think they dropped this week just under 100. So like it's not like, oh, I can't get in. Yeah, we're not at you're not at the point where you could drop $5,000 on Nike stock, but
Yeah.
you can build over time.
Yeah.
If you
So
have, yeah, just put it in there.
that's real too. So if you're
Yeah,
listening right now, man, looking to invest in wherever you shop at, ladies, gentlemen, I know guys, all these shoes dropping, man, looking to the stocks, dropping to the stocks versus trying to just drop it on your feet and just getting some new shoes that you wear like once every month. So
exactly.
start
Yeah, I
investing.
mean, Yeah, investing. And the thing is, if you don't wear those shoes, maybe, just hold on to them and then you can flip them. Like that's what people are doing, which I respect that. Whoever's doing that, but also look into investing into these companies because some of these companies they pay out dividends, and so they'll pay you just for owning some of the stock. So
Okay.
that's a conversation, but you can get paid just by holding on to the stock, and then when you finally sell, that's double dipping. You can make money off of selling as well.
Man, thank you for that knowledge. I hope everybody's taking notes and really listening and taking that in. But I want to jump back into photography. It's
Mhm.
been 10 years stretch. Been in for 10 years. What was like your first official shoot?
Oh wow. Uh, Dang. Well, I've done a lot of collaborations with creatives and friends.
Got you.
Um, wow. Uh,
I
I
know.
would. Yeah, I really do not remember. But I know that when I first got my first, semi semi professional camera,
Hmm.
uh, I used to go and take photos at events at Cal State Fullerton and at parks. So I remember starting off that way.
What,
Just
freelancing?
yeah, freelancing and just going to these events with my camera and just taking photos, just so that I could learn how to use the camera. So there was events on Fullerton's campus, While of Black Women, like all these different um, organization of organization events, and then I had a buddy who was a DJ who I could travel with him and take photos of the parties and get in for free. So I could use my
That's
camera
dope.
and you know put the photos out for everybody to download. But you know I feel like that is like the earliest memory of me um, like utilizing a camera that I owned and that I went to purchase, and I feel like that was like my starting ground for fully learning how to present myself as a photographer officially.
Got you. Got you. That's like, hey, that's the great steps too. Like you say, you was just trying to get familiar with the camera, learn the steps and of using the camera as well as being in different environments. Like you said, you go into the Women Outreach program, and then you go into parties. So it's like different environments, taking pictures of at live action shots and then still shots. So I know what you
Exactly.
mean. What about your? I'm gonna next two questions. What is your favorite shoot and your worst shoot that you had to do?
Uh, my favorite shoot. One of my favorites was when some friends of mine we went out to Glamis, which is kind of like on the border of Mexico. Um, it's like adjacent to Joshua Tree,
Okay.
um, and this place Glamis is just like you would think that you're in a different country, but it's just a bunch of like barren land, but it's just all sand. So it feels like you're the middle of nowhere, or Egypt or something. So it's just a bunch of like sand dunes. We had traveled, I think, 4 hours.
Man.
Um, we left at like midnight and got there like 4 or 5 in the morning, I believe. And we had a stylist on set, multiple stylists on set, multiple models, um, like assistants, people just helping out. So we took, was it two vehicles? I think we had two vehicles that drove out, um, and we had a shoot out there. Now we're not outdoorsy people, so we thought, oh yeah, we're just gonna go and have this photo shoot. It's gonna be a breeze. It
Yeah.
was, I think it was Labor Day weekend. We got out there. It was so hot, like 8 o'clock. It was it was warm. It was noticeably warm. You're like, dang, okay, let me drink some water.
Yeah.
But as it went on, like we got some great shots. Collaboration was great, but at the same time, it was getting really, really hot. Um, one person on set started to show signs of heat stroke,
Oh
and
man.
we had to put her in the car and make sure she was okay. But like, it was a great day of shooting and collaboration,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but at the same time, we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. So, I would say that was one of the greatest ones. One of the worst shoots, I'd say, is from my standpoint, is when I covered uh, a reveal for someone that I knew, and I ended up losing the footage.
Man.
Uh, so this is not the first time that I've lost footage,
Mm-hmm.
because cards that you use over time, they will give out. That's just a given. And so you should understand that if you're getting into photography. So we covered the event and all that, and it was a paid event, a paid gig. And when I realized that I had lost the footage of an important, from an important day for a client,
Yeah.
that hit me hard. So, I gave, I apologized until I was blue in the face. I gave the money back, because I stand by my work, and I want to make sure that every experience that people have with me is a good one. And
Mm-hmm.
if I fall short of that, then I need to make sure that, um, I take care of them and whatnot. But since then we've done other shoots. The client came back, and we you know worked together, and I provided my services and made sure that they had their footage, and it was ready to go for them. So
Got
uh,
you.
it's never fun when you lose footage, or if what you do for a client doesn't turn out the way that they anticipated.
Yeah.
But it is also important as a photographer that you understand what your client wants, and you confirm that with them, because some clients will say they want one thing, and then it turns out to be another thing. So make sure that you're in agreement in agreement on what the deliverables will be, and
Got you.
then you'll cover yourself. So if anything goes bad or becomes confusing, you can go back and say, we agreed on this, that, and the other, in a
Mm-hmm.
respectful way. You don't want to create no tension, but that's what I would recommend.
Got you. Got you. And I feel that too, because I know, like you say, you can easily lose footage over time, and cards go out, cards wear out, and that looks bad on your end. They looking like we paid you this money and you lost our footage. I know, like you said, you apologized. He was blue in the face and gave him the refund, and probably gave him a free shoot on top of that. But that's still, like, as a photographer, you like, man, that's just like wasted time. I can't believe I lost it. But it was just a minor setback for a major comeback. Like you said, they came back. Y'all did great work since then. So
Yeah.
I know how it is. Losing that footage, losing any kind of content or material, you like, man, I'm thinking back myself. I lost some recordings from my podcast one time, so I had to redo the whole podcast, and it was just a great episode interview where I had somebody, but I was just gone within thin air, and I was like, man,
It happens.
you said what?
I said it definitely happens, man.
Yeah. So it's just like a minor setback. So what do you feel like, my next question would be, what do you feel like your biggest accomplishment is, and what is your biggest failure, and what you learn from them?
Um, my biggest accomplishment, um, I would say being able to um, go and shoot at the Nestle factory
Oh, that's dope.
in Europe.
Oh, that's hard.
That, like, I didn't anticipate, like, I didn't know that I was going to be able to do it. I was nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Granted, like, I was just like, oh, I'm going to the Nestle factory to see how they make Kit Kats. Like,
I go on the Willy Wonka factory. I already know.
yeah, yeah. So I was in London, getting my master's, and I became real cool with this YouTuber, and she does brand deals and all this good stuff. She's really dope. Her name is Jana Vlogs,
Okay.
um,
Like
and
I said,
so yeah, so she's Saudi British, and she grew up in a back and forth between the two, her home country and in Europe as well.
Yeah.
Um, and aren't there weren't any like that many Saudi British YouTubers, and so she's like very um, well known in the YouTube community. But
Hmm.
she covers her life and the 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 journey of growing up. But she's also like very much in tune with American culture,
Got
and
you.
she knows all me and her walking down the street, leaving class, rapping Kanye lyrics,
So,
stuff like that. So like she's a a good spirit, great person. And she had hit me up. She was like, "Oh, I'm doing this brand deal with with Nestle. Would you like to be my cameraman?" I'm like, "Let's do it." I'm
so
like, "All right, what do you need? I need to make sure I have all the all my equipment and everything." But we traveled 2 hours up to York, which is outside of where we were at, and we captured content in Nestle, and so she was vlogging about the experience, and it was for Nestle's apprenticeship program, and
okay.
so that was, I would say, one of the one of my greatest achievements, because I never thought that I would even be able to work with a well-known national international brand like that. So it came out of nowhere, and it came through a relationship that I built with someone who was, um, you know, on doing her craft and making things happen for herself, and she saw the quality of content that I'm able to produce, and she trusted me to be able to work with her on this brand deal.
Man, that's a blessing. And shout out
Yeah.
to you. Congratulations for that, for real. Because like you said, just building the relationships with her, and she's seen your work and was like, okay, I want to tag you along. You seem like cool people. I want to bring you on with this deal, what I'm doing, which is always good too. So that's like
Yeah.
the thing for you. Like you said, she brought you along and put you on, and you learn, and you was like, man, this is the biggest achievement for me for right now. But at the end of the day, that's still like a blessing for real.
It,
Because I'm all about big on building relationships and building relationships with people, because you never know who they know or what they're doing or what craft they may do. They may like you and bring you along and bring you in like, hey, I want you to help me with this. Like she said, I want you to help me just get some content, get some photos, get like some B-roll in a way. So
yeah. Yeah. So it was definitely you know a blessing from God. Like you don't see these things happening. You can't predict them, and then when these things do happen, it's like that's God blessing you with an opportunity to take your craft to the next level, and gain, even if it's working as a collaborator. Like you don't have to be that the head person or the lead person in charge or whatever it is. Like just being a part of a project,
mm-hmm.
um, working for a brand or collaborating with a brand, it was great.
Yeah, man. And I just want to like take a second. Like I'm appreciating this whole episode, this whole interview, because I'm learning a lot from you, and I'm learning through your experience and your journey of what you've been through and everything. I, man, it's just opening my eyes up to like I said, your whole story and the journey of what you've been through from childhood to all the way up to now. So I want to thank you for appreciate you for coming on for real.
Thanks, man.
So, but I want to talk about London, how it started, that whole experience, and just from there getting your master's and whatnot. What made you say I want to go to London and get my master's degree?
Okay, so I had finished. I graduated from Cal State Fullerton in 2013, and I was working in e-commerce, for e-commerce company, and I think I was maybe a year and a half in, and I was always going back and forth thinking like, oh, should I go get my master's? Like once you finish undergrad, you're like, all right, some people are going to get their master's right away. Some people are going to get work experience. Um, I was like, okay, let me get some work experience. And I got to the point where I was like, all right, Marcus, I forgot how old I was, but you're this particular age, you're like 25, 26, whatever, and you're almost to 30. If you're going to do your master's, you might as well do it now and stop putting it off. So I was back and forth on whether or not I should do it. And I was always interested in branding, like brand development, like building brands from the ground up.
Got you.
Um, and at the time, there wasn't any university in the U.S. that had a program that combined concepts or the teachings of marketing, but also brand management. Um, so um, I was looking elsewhere. I was like, okay, what other are there other countries that offer it? I looked up marketing and brand management on Google, and then Kingston University popped up. It was the first option, and I'm like, all right. Every time that I keep searching about marketing and brand management, I always see Kingston University. Um, and so I was looking into it, and I wasn't qualified. Like I didn't have the GPA. I was just like I think 2 points shy of the minimum GPA to get in. But I was like, let me apply anyway. So I applied, and they had this section where you had to write about why you deserve to get in and all that stuff. And I talked about the establishment of no curfew and how the I me and some cousins or friends that I grew up with, we started this creative collective called No Curfew, and I talked about my experience in being involved in that and how I was able to get opportunities through that and create business relationships through that collective, and that helped me get in. This
Yeah.
not having the minimum GPA to be qualified. So it was my experience outside of school that helped me get into this program. And
Mm-hmm.
so once I got into the program, I had to leave my job, quit my job. Um, I almost didn't do it. I was like, I'm gonna put it off for a year, whatever.
Oh no.
I was nervous, and I've never been outside of the country. I
Mm.
never traveled outside of the country, but I have to make this decision on whether or not I'm going to move to London to get my master's. And so after talking to mentors and friends and everything, I gustered up the confidence to just do it, because I would regret it if I didn't. And I made that decision. I left my job and I moved out to London. I didn't even have a place to live.
Mm.
They said just get out here because you're going to be late. If you don't arrive by this particular time, we're going to give up your spot. And
Man.
so I was like, well, I'm gonna get out there and we'll figure it out. And so I just left. And when I got there, through the grace of God, boom, there was a flat, what they like an apartment. They call it
Mm-hmm.
a flat available right on campus, on the campus of the business school, and I got that apartment, that flat.
Man, God is good.
Right. So that was like the best decision that I made in my life, in terms of challenging myself and giving myself an opportunity um, to grow as a person and be like fully independent and have to figure things as I go.
Yeah, especially taking that big leap across the country by
Yeah.
yourself, not really having no place to live, and you like, and then figure out when I get there. And sometimes
Yeah.
you have to do that, like on a journey, or you have the end goal in sight. Like your end goal was like, I want my master's, and then you like the little bits and pieces, the steps that you have to take to get there. You had to apply. You didn't have the GPA to get in, but you wrote the powerful essay, the get in essay, to where they like, all right, we got a spot for you. Now it's like, all right, you can get there. You got to quit your job. You won't have no place to live, but just get out here and then figure it out from there. And sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, sometimes we want to know exactly how everything is laid out, how all the details are laid out, which I understand that is important. But if you can't, that does not mean that you shouldn't
Yeah,
take the first step, you know, because by taking these steps, things will be revealed to you, and you can make those necessary changes or pivots to get to where you need to go.
got you, man. So I'm like, you got out there, you got your flat. Did you have trouble understanding the language or learning the language?
Um, for the most part, I'd say um, it's kind of depending on how quickly people talk, how they speak. It may be difficult to kind of understand certain terms that they say, but for the most part, like I always go back to like Harry Potter because like that was the only kind of like connection that I can make with like England and all that stuff. I
Yeah,
didn't know nothing about London and England, but I knew I was like, well, they have these strong accents, and when I'm out there, they're telling me that I have an accent. And whenever I'm talking on the phone with my mom or people back at home, you notice that people stare at you
yeah,
because they're like, I've heard that accent before, on TV because a lot of people out there, they consume a lot of American media. So when randomly you're on the bus and you start talking on your phone or talking to your friends, people who don't interact with Americans on a regular basis, they hear an American accent and they're
yeah,
locked in, just like we're locked into their accent when we see somebody who's British or hear somebody that's British in America. We're like, oh, I like your accent. So um, it different slang terms and stuff like that. You just have to get used to and try to
pick
you
up
know
on.
pick up on it and whatnot. But yeah, man, it was a dope experience.
Man, I already know. I got to go to London myself.
Yeah, man, the music scene is dope out there. They have this genre called garage, something like and it's very like underground, fast tempo, got a little grunge to it, but like it's pretty dope.
No, that's hard. Did you ever try to like make a beat to the garage tempo?
No, I couldn't lock into that.
Oh.
Yeah, I tried, but it was just like Marcus. Nah, you haven't been exposed to this long enough to be able to replicate that.
Got you. Oh,
Yeah, I appreciate it though. I appreciated the genre and learning about it from my British friends.
got you. What was like your top? I'll say top five memories out there besides going to Nestle. What was your top five memories that you can like? Dang, that was a good time.
Um, I'd say my my graduation,
Mm.
my girlfriend coming out to London for graduation,
So,
and granted, like we were still we were still like early on in our relationship and all that. Uh,
mm-hmm.
so like obviously some of my family members weren't able to make it out there. My mom doesn't fly, so she's if they don't have a train or whatever, I can't do it. So she
Yeah.
doesn't fly. A lot of my family members weren't able to get out there for the graduation. Um, but my girlfriend, she came out, and we were still like I said, we still early on in a relationship. So just the fact that she was willing to trust me and like you know
Yeah.
travel to this place, to a different country with me, um, to experience it and to see me graduate was the by far the top most memorable experience. The
Mm-hmm.
crazy thing about it is she was actually supposed to go to that university as well, uh,
That's crazy.
which is mind-boggling, but that's a different story. But yeah, that was definitely one of the best memories for me.
Got you, man. That's great. Like she flew out there, took that risk on you. Not necessarily risk, but showed from
Yeah,
her support you and what you accomplished, and showing you that she's by your side. Like I'm here to support you, and I'm proud of you of what you did. Like London ain't no 2 to 3 hour trip. That's a flight to get there. So I know, like
yeah,
you said, mom's like, I ain't going by no plane. If they have a
yeah.
train there, take it, but plane is out for me. So I understand.
Yeah, but it was definitely dope. And just like the people that I met out there, like still keep in contact. The thing is, London is so diverse. I would say it's more diverse than the U.S. because the U.S. is so big. You know, we have pockets of diversity or pockets of like non-diversity.
Yeah.
With in London, it's just like you have people who are from countries that you've never even heard of. You know, Americans, we're so consumed with us that sometimes we don't take the time or understand how different people are or how vast this world is. Because in London, I've heard of countries that I've never like even thought existed. And you know, I met one of my flatmates. She's from Gambia,
Mm.
and if I'm not mistaken, um, what's his name? Oh my goodness, Kunta Kinte.
No.
She's from an area where uh, Kunta Kinte's lineage is from, and so like just learning about all of that from them has just been great. And like being black in London is different too. Being African American is totally different because they'll ask you where you're from, and obviously people don't know about the IE or the places. So I had to say, "Oh, I'm from LA," or "I'm from just a place just 45 minutes outside of LA." You know, so I had to kind of approximate where I'm from so that they can visually understand. But when they ask you where you're from, they're not talking about the United States.
Yeah.
They want to know like what country are you from? What is your lineage? You know, and
Mm-hmm.
when I was asked that, um, I didn't know what to say. You know, and
Yeah.
so I was like, well, I need to take an ancestry test. So I, took an ancestry test and all that stuff. That encouraged me to do that because these people knew what country they were from, and that question just it kind of baffled me because I wasn't able to answer it.
Uh, honestly, I want to take an ancestry test too. Like my parents always tell me, "Oh, you Jamaican and African American," but what else?
Yeah, yeah. So the
That's what.
different.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, we down to I got some 5 questions. Your top 5. We're gonna start with the first one. I already talked about your top 5 memories. Who are your top 5 role models or mentors?
I'd say my father, my stepdad. Um, I would also say another mentor. My collectively my creative group of friends. Um,
Got you.
I would put them all together into one. Um, and like I have and within that, like I have my brother and Jesse and Ron,
Mm-hmm.
and some people that I've met through college. Like collectively, those are my mentors. I learn from them. And they learn from me and all that. But I do follow. There's this finance guy. They meet Kevin. He's on YouTube.
Spell his name out for me.
Meet as in MEET.
Okay, and then
And
got you. Just writing
and
it. Up.
yeah, yeah. If you just Google him, like he's all over the place. Like he is. He's been in the real estate game and finance game for years. Like I think he's 29, and he's
Damn,
been since he was 19.
damn.
And so he doesn't know me, but that is my mentor from afar,
Got you.
from a finance.
That's me. He gonna reach out.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, his first. I think one of his first properties was in San Bernardino,
Oh,
and so,
what?
yeah, he invested in one of the properties in San Bernardino. So if I ever see his car, I'm going to pull up on him and let him know what's up. But yeah, meet Kevin, and then there's this other guy named, I can't spell his name out, but his name is Jaspreet Singh,
Hmm.
and he is based I think in Canada, and he teaches about personal finance as well. And he has a YouTube channel called Minority Mindset.
Okay, got you.
And so these are like mentors from afar. So you don't necessarily have to know the person, just consume the content and like really you can learn a lot from people from afar. You don't have to
Yeah.
Pick their brain all the time or
Yeah, it goes
meet them
like
in person.
you reading a book or something on somebody or somebody's autobiography or something of that nature. You learn it from them from afar as they can be a mentor. Like it came to my head like just a Malcolm X biography, learning about him and everything and reading his book. So it's just different people, like you said, they can be mentors from afar. They don't have to have personal relationships with them for them
Yeah.
to be mentors.
Yeah.
Oh, top 5 books.
Top 5 books. All right. I'd say there is Robert Kiyosaki.
That's funny. I'm reading.
For that.
Yeah, I'm reading that right. I'm reading that right now. That's funny.
I am too. Like I'm reading that right now. There is what is it? Still like an artist? Still like an artist? I forgot the guy's name, but yeah, it's called Austin Kleon. Still like an artist. It is a small, just small little book, just about like being a creative and being an artist in multiple facets and how to navigate your creative journey as a professional. It's a really quick book, so that was one that I still like an artist. Yeah. Dang. Is there another book? I don't remember. Well, I have 2. I have two books for people to look into, but Meet Kevin and Minority Mindset on YouTube. Those are like the people that I listen to on a daily basis about personal finance. So I like to learn through auditory learning in videos. So just to supplement me not always reading a book. So I'd say those are the go-to resources.
Got you. I'll be on the lookout. Check those out. Meet Kevin and Minority Mindset.
Yes.
Top 5 foods. They can be
Food.
or you like Mexican food, soul food, stuff like that.
Okay. I'd say I love acai bowls,
I'm saying.
smoothie bowls. I go in on those. I love orange chicken.
Fire.
I love fried rice. Um, burritos.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and now I've gone vegan for some time, but I since then kind of backslid. But the Impossible Burgers are really great alternatives to In-N-Out. So if you really enjoy In-N-Out and you want to, or you're trying to go meatless or whatever, to help with that transition, if you're craving a burger, Impossible Burgers, they will help you through those days of struggle.
Facts. This is a spot at the Victoria Gardens. I don't know if you've been there. Dog House. They got Impossible Burgers there. Great. And they got Impossible Sliders. Check them out whenever you get a chance.
Oh yeah. So there's so Monty's is a vegan version of In-N-Out, I'd say,
Okay.
and they are located in downtown Riverside at the what is it? Is the food hall or food lab?
Yeah, no, I've seen them there too. Yeah, I got to check them out.
Yeah, so if you can't get to LA, because that's where I first was introduced to them, but if you're in the IE and you want to try a great alternative to an In-N-Out burger, I'd say Monty's in Riverside.
Man, I'm about to check them out for sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
For sure. What are the top 5 things in life that motivate or inspire you? I know you're talking about your friends keep you as like their mentors and role models, but like what motivates, inspires you to get up and shoot every day, get up and be creative, and get up and just keep moving and keep grinding, even on the days where you feel like you don't want to go out and shoot today, or you feel like just like, oh, I just want to rest and chill? What motivates you? What inspires you to get up and keep going and keep working?
I'd say it's my family and friends. Like whenever just the fact that like um I'm a trusted creative
Mm-hmm.
to some people, and like whenever people have ideas, whether it be for just from a creative artistry standpoint or from a business standpoint, the fact that they're willing to share those ideas with me and trust me,
Mm-hmm.
uh, to give them, you know, my opinion, my honest opinion or whatever, and help build, from that standpoint, is like that's important, for me, because you know you can't go to everybody and kind of share your ideas with them freely, and so just like the fact that my friends and family and people that are recommended to me, they actually come to me and we have these conversations. It's like it's important because it's like uh, people are passionate about what I do, and you know, I am just as passionate about other people's ideas and what they want to do. And anytime that I can help, I make sure that I can at least physically help or give some insight or something that I've learned to help somebody along with their journey. So like just being able to um, put out and receive input is for me it's been great.
Got you. Got you. I respect that. How can I help you?
Uh, I'd say just continue to do what you do. Like this opportunity to be on your podcast has been, you know, a blessing to me because like I'm not I'm more so a private person,
Got.
and you know I haven't done many interviews at all, so being able to kind of um, you know have your podcast, your platform as my first, you know, official interview or
Oh,
you know podcast, being a part of it, like this is dope. So continue to do what you do, and you know any way that I can help, you already know that you know I'm always here to support. Um, you know, because we go back,
yeah.
we way back. So I'm just glad to see that you're doing your thing.
Man, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you coming on the show today, spreading your knowledge, telling them people about your journey, as well as this being your first official interview. I like how you just got on. It sounds like you've been interviewing for years now, but you just made it like really impact and brought value to people's lives, discussing what you've been through in your journey, taking that leap of faith to just moving out to London, getting your master's, and just starting with photography. It's like your whole thing is just like you got to start. Everything will be planned out in the process. You got to just have trust and have faith that everything will work out for you.
It will. It will. And the thing is, like, you'll meet people that can help further this journey that you're going on. So, like, you know, God works in mysterious ways, and like, you know, we aren't perfect beings, you know, and life can be hard.
Mm,
But at the end of the day, you got to know that you know God got you, your friends got you, um, and don't be afraid to fail. You know, you can't, like, it's a part of life. And even as you get older, you're continuing to learn about yourself, um, and figure out what you like and what you don't like. It's just an ongoing journey, and we're just in different chapters. That's it.
yeah, we're all on our own, like you said, different chapters of life. My final question:
Mm.
what kind of impact do you want to make on the world?
I I want to be able to impact Fontana. Um, I'll just focus on where I came from. Um, I want to be able to show people from Fontana that you don't have to go to LA to make it. Um, you don't have to like leave Fontana and forget about Fontana. You know, the young generation, whether it, you know, the creatives and with the technology nowadays, it's like if you want to start an agency or a creative collective or you know something like that, like you can do that in Fontana and save money on rent and your cost of living, and still be as effective as those brands and companies that are in LA. COVID is definitely showing us that. And so my whole thing is I want to be able to connect with Fontana, get back to connecting with Fontana and, people who are growing up in Fontana right now and share my experience, be a resource. And if there's opportunities to get involved with the city to help empower young creatives and entrepreneurs, I feel like that's the impact that I want to make. It's not about the world. It's about Fontana, because Fontana is my world and has been my world for some years. So it's time to come back to Fontana and really get involved with people who grew up in Fontana. So
I hear you. I'm with you. I want to help you make that impact too. I want to make an impact on Fontana and growing Fontana, especially like you said. You can make it here. You don't have to go to LA, drive to LA, sell everything. Just go to LA and make your city of dreams. People do that from different cities, different states try to do that, and they end up like on the side, like in less fortunate situations. So it's like you can still do it in your city or where you're from. And I like how you say you want to impact Fontana. That is your world. So I want to help you with that any way I can, and I'm pretty sure we're slowly but surely starting making impacts. So
yes, sir.
More sit down and talk about it, because we will make the impact on Fontana and make it where the vision that you see will make it happen.
Let's do it.
And where can my guests or my viewers, listeners, find you at? Where can they reach out to you for any photography opportunities or any questions or anything of that nature?
Instagram. That is the most common, easiest way to get in contact with me.
Yeah.
And so my Instagram is prolific1photos. Now I'll spell that out because people will spell it a certain way, but it's PROLYPHIK, the number 1, photos. And that is the quickest and easiest way to get in contact with me. And I have websites and all that stuff, but let's just focus on Instagram, send everybody to that. And if we want to connect, let's connect, talk about business, finance, plants, because I'm into plants thanks to COVID and all this stuff. Let's just connect,
Man, for real. And it seemed like this show blew by. Like the whole interview blew by. I'm looking up like it's already been an hour, and I'm like, man, there's so much more I want to get into and talk about and discuss. We're going to have to save that and do it for another time.
Yes, sir.
Back on the show in a few months and talk about the journey from here to now, and just discuss more about finances, discuss more about plants, the plant side, because I'm into the plants too myself. But I do want to see. So in about a couple months, I'm gonna get you back on the show. I know they want you back on. Like I said, your whole story is inspiring and motivating, and I know it brought insight and knowledge to people's lives today.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. I'll be catching up with you soon. Enjoy the day. I was talking to you.
All right, stay safe.
All right, you too.
Peace.
What a show, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in to Sana IE. Shout out to my guest, Marcus Brown, for coming in, educating us, dropping some knowledge, dropping some wisdom, as well as inspiring us, motivating us. Like he said, if you want to reach out to him, check him out on his Instagram at prolific1photos, and let him know what you think. If you have any words from him or you want some advice from him, hit him up. He dropped some gems, dropped a few people that you should look up and read into, as well as dropping one of his books. Not one of his books, but the books he's currently reading, which is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, is one of the books I highly recommend as well. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. I hope y'all have a great week. I'll be back again soon, man. I'll be back again Monday with y'all. Man, stay blessed, stay encouraged, stay safe. Wear your mask, wash your hands, take care of you, take care of your family. You guys are in my prayers. Also, one last thing. Like the show, subscribe to the show, send it to a friend. Let me know what you think. Leave a review. If you have Apple Podcasts, leave a review for me and let me know what you think of the show. If you have Spotify, you can also DM us at Sanae Podcast on any social media network and let us know what you think of the show. What do you think we can change? I like encourage criticism and constructive criticism. So let me know what y'all think, as well as you can send me a text and I'll I'll work on perfecting the show as well as reading y'all reviews off of the show and what y'all think. I greatly appreciate y'all. Have a great week.